All right. So, welcome to Power Hour. We are continuing in our discussions and training around sponsoring and really being true to the mission. I think that at the end of the day, there's a simple message. Um, this program was intended for each one to teach one, and there was nothing else intended. There wasn't a program for people to not hear about that. There wasn't a program that said, well, only some people can do that. There wasn't a program that said only if the person has it all together or has lost all their weight or has finished the life book or all of those things. Those are things that honestly we've added to the situation that are not accurate, and they would not accurately reflect the heart of the founder. The heart of the founder wants each person to come in, start their health journey, start at the mountain, and then invite other people with them and connect people to the community and the systems in which they're finding hope. So anything short of that, at the easiest way to say it is it's us. Okay, it's us, not the mission that is being put out there. If this is becoming difficult or it's hard, with all the love in the world, it's because of us. And so we have to really look at that without judgment and without being a critic. I hope one of the things that you're learning in this community is that you can look at your opportunities as opportunities, and you don't have to look at it critical. You can also decide to just be curious why you do what you do. So, like for myself, the other day when I was really short tempered with my husband, and I was almost, I don't even know, you guys. It was it was like he was aggravating me, so I was trying to aggravate him back. Um, I said in my post, really mature, right? No, not mature. So I had to say to myself, I wonder why I did that. Like I know better, but I wonder why I did it. Like I'm super curious. Now, before I wasn't healthy enough to be curious. I only knew how to be critical and flog myself and be like, you know better, that you shouldn't have done that, and I would just stay in the stuck. And so I hope you're starting to learn here that whatever isn't working for you, whether it's in your business, remember that your business is just a reflection of you. So, whatever's not working in you will probably come out in your business, and that's okay. That's why Dr. A wanted you to coach, because he wants you to see things about yourself that need to grow. And that's exciting, right? So instead of being down on ourselves, let's be excited and let's be curious and let's be coachable. So today, I'd like to start out. We've got a little bit of fun things to unpack, but I would like to start out with some Q&A today, a little bit different. I would like to talk to you about when it comes to the idea of sponsoring, what is difficult for you, what is challenging for you, and just have some open dialogue with family about it because it'll be great. And then we do have Anthony's on today, and he's going to share with us, just to give you guys a little bit of framework for the half an hour we're going to be together. He's going to share how in such a short time he and Adrian have been able to have their ratios be. We've talked a little bit about ratios and we've talked a little bit about points. So a healthy business with Optavia grows by 2 points every month, one new senior coach and 5 new clients. That's just the healthiest way to grow your business. Well, if we're not sponsoring, we're not going to have that senior coach point. So we're seeing folks come right out of the gate, and out of their client base, they're seeing 1 out of 5 become coaches. And it's not just 1 month that we saw that, or we would just say, oh, they had a good batch of clients, maybe, but we're seeing that it's consistent. And so we definitely want to learn from one another, and we're going to do that today. So Anthony's going to share with us a little bit about mind, like what our question is, just to give you a minute, is what mindset do you have about it? What skill sets have you developed or are developing? And what actions are you taking that you see are lending to the ratios being what they are and allowing you to have already, and you just been here a minute, you already have a pretty good little team. So just to know that that's what's coming towards you in a moment. But take yourself off mute, share with us, what's the hardest part about sponsoring for you? Anything goes. Please don't clean it up. Like, we have to have that dialogue.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Anthony. The hardest or the most difficult thing about sponsoring.
Oh, Anthony, that wasn't for you.
Oh,
That was for, no, I wanted you to share what's working. I'm so sorry. I probably confused it. I wanted you to share what was working, and I was giving you a few minutes for that. I was asking the rest of the group, what is difficult about sponsoring? So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to ask you that. Yeah.
okay.
You can tell us what's difficult though, later. Because right now, 1 in 5 is really good. So,
You,
yeah.
you know what? I tell you what. One of my coaches today, he's got 3 clients, and I did I did his last client for him, right? So we're talking about one of his practices, right? And his client signed up and now wants to sign up and be a coach. You know, and that's kind of ridiculous, right? I
Oh,
mean, he's got he has 3 clients, and one of them is going to sign up today to be a coach.
yep.
Um, you know,
Beautiful.
all I can say is you work the business model. Everything has been laid out for us, and we just have to. It's, to me, it's kind of like with a computer. You know, you get your software and there's plug and play. You know, all you got to do is just load it, and it's boom, it's going, it's ready to go. And I think that with Elevate, um, if we simply just do those steps, and that's what we're doing, honestly, that's what we're doing. We're doing the steps. I'm following what I've been taught, what Patrick and Sherry has shown us. You know, you heard me mention this before, and you've heard it over and over again. You know, it's wash, rinse, and my mind went blank.
Repeat.
Repeat. Wash, rinse, and repeat. You know, um, I'm telling you guys, and your excitement about it. Don't look at it as a chore. Don't look at it as something that's frightful or scary. You know, you simply be transparent, be honest, and offer it. When you offer it, and as I said the other day, man, this thing, somebody said it even better than I did. This thing starts the moment you make contact. It really does. It starts the moment you make contact with them. Sizing the prospective client up, hearing what they're saying, hearing what their needs and their wants and their desires are, and it will simply direct you into the path you need to go, as far as how you're going to bring them on board as a client and then as a coach. You know, I mean, some people are ready instantly, like this last one for my client. This guy, I mean, he and his wife signed up, and we just finished. We just did Monday. We just did their celebration call on Monday, and today they're signing up to be coaches. You know, and so I think that's in a nutshell. I don't.
I have a couple questions for you. So,
Yes.
um, what, I guess, in your heart and in your mind, do
Mhm.
you believe that they need coaching? The client, that they need coaching, that coaching will offer them more, like, how strong is that belief system?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yes, because I look at I even when I talk with people, even on an HA, I tell them, I say, listen, let me tell you something. You know, coaching is 25% of this program, and it's very, very important. And I say to them, listen, I don't care what profession or occupation you're in, you have coaches. I said that, you know, the greatest golf player that I know in my generation, Tiger Woods, the man still has a swing coach. Okay. I said the most melodic voice of our time in the late Whitney Houston, she still had a vocal coach. I said, it doesn't matter what you do, you need a coach. And so, yes, if you're going to be successful in a transforming your life, you need a coach.
And then secondly, you must think that they like that there's something in you that's so strong around they need to coach with you that's coming out of your pores, it's coming out of your mouth. It's a strong, we see it a lot with certain teams where the leader has a strong posture around coaching and then it just goes bananas in their organization. And it's because it always starts with the leader. So, and that was with Sherry and Patrick have a strong posture around coaching. They're not at all timid, shy. They're like, I've hugged Dr. A's neck. You need to meet him. You need to come with us. You will be so sad if you're not in this room with other coaches. Like they're so passionate that got on to you. Now it's going on to your coach. And now your coach who has only 3 clients that just got his first coach. And it starts with leadership. And I'll tell you, I can't take credit for that because I had chatter around coaching. So somehow, thank the Lord, that didn't get on the Nalties and that they had something different than me. And they brought that into the organization. I think we all have experienced it with them where it's like passion. And I do want to kind of pivot. Thank you so much, Anthony. I might come back, but I just wanted to point out that your speak, your heart, your clarity around coaching is your next step, whether you take it on day 5, like Sherry, or you take it on day 14, like, whomever, me, I took it on day 14. We do not need to get in this headspace where it needs to be logical. It's what's going to happen to them when they walk in these coaching rooms and they walk out of the client room and they start experiencing the coaching rooms. What's going to happen to them will be illogical. You, with all of your vocabulary, will not be able to explain to them what's happening to them. How many of us have experienced that where we're here and we're like, I don't know, it's like my whole life has changed. Okay, well, how do you explain that? You cannot. So what you do is you stay true to the systems. Let me ask this really quick. Keep this checklist handy. So if I were to say, does your page, if I go to your Facebook right now, all of your Facebooks, and I said, does your page reflect the trilogy? The trilogy. Would I know without scrolling too many times that I could coach with you if I wanted to? That's my very first question for you guys today. If that's a no, we got to fix it, okay? Because message sent is message received. Like message sent is I can get your healthy body, then they're only going to come to you when they need a healthy body. If they need a side income, if they need to leave a job they can't stand, they're not going to come to you because that wasn't sent. That message was not sent. So that message is not received. So the first thing I would say is, where is the trilogy in your stories and where is it on your page? The second thing is when they ask for your help, hey, I've been loving your health related post. I'm very interested in your program. Can you start to ask this question? Are you interested in our certification for transformational health coaches? I train and certify health coaches. Are you interested in that? Or were you interested in the one-on-one coaching and the client coaching that I do? So they're like, wait a second, I don't know. And what we've heard from Adrienne, she just told us that when she asked that, someone said both, but right now my health first. So how many of those are we missing, right? Where we're not even asking that. And then number 3 is on the health assessment. When you talk about our process, is there an absolute clear message that you're going to get them healthy this week? And then at the end of this week, you're going to help them to impact their circle, because their circle is where they live. And that will have a negative influence if it's not looked at, right? Surroundings, you are going to want to shout this from the mountaintops. Please don't shout it until we talk. because I'm going to teach you how to shout it in a way that's going to serve your community. So I'm going to coach you, and then I'm going to help you to coach other people that need this desperately. Your whole life is going to look different on day 7. Is there anything in your health assessment that talks about coaching? From there, do they get a phone call on day 4 on program, where on day 4, when they're high, like getting ready to go into fat burn, everything, I'm not hungry, this is crazy. Okay, great. Real quick, I just added you to Chasing Better. That's a second group. I did not want to add you there on day 1. I wanted you to get used to Nourish, getting the recipes and all of that. But on day 4, they get added to Nourished if they're doing well. If you call on day 4 and they're like, I'm starving, I don't know if I could do this. Okay, time out. We're not adding them to Chasing Better on that day because they need to get into fat burn. So we might have to wait until day 7 or 8 when they're happy and you've done your pivots and you've adjusted your sales. So now they're in Chasing Better. And then you tag them in your story. So if some of you still don't have stories in Chasing Better, this is a piece of your sponsoring that's broken, because it has to be something personal that they see, like, oh, there's Jody's story, there's Brad's story. Oh, okay, awesome. It doesn't even have to be paychecks, you guys. It could be fulfillment, purpose, and accountability. There's 3 reasons why people coach: purpose and accountability and finances. Tell your story. If it's an accountability story, tell it in Chasing Better and then tag them. Then at the end of the 1 week, when you do their systems check, you get to say, oh my gosh, remember we talked about all this team coaching. Well, last week you heard from Alan Wood. Did you love that on the book challenge? Oh yeah, that was really good. Great. That's team coaching. But also at the end of this week, you're going to meet my coach. And my coach is so excited to love on you and celebrate you. And now the 2-week call is done with the mentor. And now we're talking about, there's 2 ways to pay this forward: referring or guiding. And we set up that Coach Explore. And then on the Coach Explore, you're going to get 3 possible responses. Jody, this was amazing. I had no idea I could do this, but I'm not ready. Jody, this was amazing. But can I tell you a dirty little secret about me? I don't like people. And I definitely don't want to coach people. I have a hard enough time just liking myself and doing this. So I'm going to refer. Okay. So, and now she's like, great, I'm going to teach you how to refer the right way. Or the third possible response is, you know what, this is crazy, Jody. I'm glad you brought this up, because when you sent me that day 8 text message and it had that video in it, I was a little bit curious. And then the stuff that I was seeing in Chasing Better has really piqued my interest. I don't know if I told you this, but my husband lost his job a few months ago and we've really been struggling. So this would help us a lot. And I was going to send you some referrals, but maybe I could actually do it. Okay, so sponsoring isn't always getting a yes on the Coach Explore. A lot of times it's not yet. It's yes, ma'am, I would love to do this, or yes, sir, this is amazing, or I'm going to refer, but now I think I could do it with a little bit more of a skill set and an acumen. Those are the steps to have a sponsoring organization. But I'm going to tell you something that I learned this week from talking to different coaches. And I'm not looking to judge. I'm looking to try to understand why our sponsoring isn't where it could be and really be curious about it and help. But I heard someone say, no, I always tell them that I have some information, right? And that's true, because we do say that on the call. We say, I'm just going to give you some information to make the decision. It's not going to be persuasive and it's not going to be salesy or any of that, right? You don't need to say that. If you guys say it's not going to be salesy, automatically it just became salesy. So if you put that out there, that's the only word I heard was salesy. I didn't hear anything else you said. And now my wall is up. So you know, at this point, what I want to ask you is, yes, it's an informational meeting. But have you guys, I think what I'm observing, and I love you all, but I'm going to tell you what I'm observing. When I'm on these calls, I'm not seeing people talk about how coaching has blessed them in an honest way. Like, I'm seeing a very apologetic, like timid, almost like an omission of what is happening. And I'm like, why is that happening? So that's what I wanted to talk about today. I want you guys to talk about what's hard. I want you to talk about, why do you guys think, without being critical, just be curious with me. Why are we omitting what's happening to us in the coaching community, but we're shouting from the mountaintops what's happening in the client community? I have that as I don't know on my paper, and I need to figure that out with you guys. So let's just have a discussion. What do you guys think?
Hi, Rachel, it's Sherry. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi. So what I'm doing, I'm looking at the Nourish community, and I'm also watching my coaches. And when I see a client that I may be co-coaching typically with them,
Mhm.
they're putting up a lot of before and afters on the Nourish community, but I'm not seeing it on the Facebook. So if I'm looking at my coaches and they have goals, what I am posturing to my coaches is this: Rachel is doing amazing and she's sharing that in Nourish. The only thing, it's just a private community. And since she's testifying, would you like to have her jump back in my room? Maybe I missed something. You know, while we, you know, she's on the link, because honestly, after a while, I'm not studying my clients, my coaches' pages. I don't have time. But when I do see that their clients are posting and I'm seeing that they have goals, but they're not meeting the goals, and I will go to my coaches and say, hey, have them jump back in my room. Maybe there's something that I missed, and I'll let them know, because you guys know I'm always talking about Dr. A, right? I'll let them know right from the Habit of Health book, page 25. Rachel, do you know Dr. A said 85% of people that go on diet without behavioral support, that they fail? Now, I know you understand this is not a diet, but it has a nutritional component. You are doing so well. We are just giving you loves and nourish. But I promise you, in 2 years, what I have seen is, if you don't go public, your journey was never intended to be public. That's why we have community. But we need you to share with your friends on Facebook. How are you going to steward this? It's amazing. How many people do you know that have gotten off high blood pressure pills, arthritis pills, diabetes pills? I said, how are you going to steward that? So can we get you now to share this publicly? Because if Anthony is being of service to you, as you've noted on Nourish, can you please steward that and let Anthony know that you bring him value? And I'm done. Let's do it.
Yeah, it's awesome. You know, getting clients to live out loud, what Sherry's explaining is, when you see a client start to live out loud, but they're living out loud in a way that will not change outside, because that's just Nourish and everybody in there's already bought their kit. So they're like, I'm good. Thank you, but I'm not a starfish that needs saving because I'm already in here. What she's getting them to do is say, I love it. Good for you. You're inspiring, but let's use that inspiration to work for you, because 85% of people that do private diets gain all their weight back. So we need to make this public, because that's one of the, we say, you've heard Tim say it, close the Irish escape. You know, it's kind of a saying, is like, if no one knows you're getting healthy, no one knows that you quit. And so you just lowered your accountability. Now, I talk to coaches all the time, and God love us, but we say things like this: yeah, but I'm just going to let my clients go at their own pace. And I'm like, okay, I love you and I get the heart of what you're saying. But the truth is that their pace has been the pace until they called you. And so a lot of times what we're doing is we're lacking the leadership to say, I appreciate that you are a private person. I can appreciate that. And there are some things that only deserve trust to share in life, right? Getting healthy is something that will change lives around you. But more importantly, by you telling the world, you're going to close that last door that you've been kind of crawling in and out of for a long time. And I'm going to love you enough to say, close it today and live it out loud, because that layer of accountability is going to bless you first and then other people second. So we either have that skill to say that, or we go, well, I'm just going to, she's shy and she's really private. Guys, she's shy and she's private, but that's going to leave her right back in her poopy diaper, because we have to have different behaviors to get to a different destination. So be careful if you're still saying things like, yeah, I was going to ask my client to do that 2-week call, but she's shy. She's not a person that likes people. She's not, okay, what you're doing is you're reporting the news, you're not changing it. And we need to change the news. Okay. With all the love in the world, I say that. And I do it too. Trust me. I wouldn't be here where I'm at right now in this room with you if I hadn't made every mistake in the book. So I'll say that again.
And Rachel, and I was gonna say too, so new coaches and
Uh-huh.
that have that mindset, because everything takes time.
Yes.
So, you know, they begin to trust their coach, build on our confidence until they get their own. But when I get the private clients that's so private on my 2-week, I have no qualms with letting them know your journey has never been intended to be private, because it goes against our mission. Because Dr. A said, so I put it on him so I don't get in trouble.
Yeah, that Dr. A, boy.
So I said, Dr. A's mission is to get the world healthy. So if you are just being kind of like a closet Christian, or just really secretive on your journey, I said, what mindset that I'm looking at is this. And I always take my little Rubik's Cube, you guys. You know, guys, see this? Healthy surroundings and all of that, healthy weight management. I got this from one of the series we did. So anyway, I say to them, if you're not sharing this publicly to give Anthony, to give Yolanda value in them coaching you and sharing this gift, and it's private, we can't further the mission.
Mhm.
And then I don't say anything because I want to hear where they are. So then I know we need to work on some mindset. So when they keep on coming on Nourish, I lost 10 pounds, I lost 12 pounds. I let my clients know before we check in, I'm excited. The community call on Monday, they have been talking about the 4 Ds. I've already incorporated some for the holidays, because we are winning and we are here to allow you to win with us. I know you're busy. Can you let me know what you've incorporated? And once we meet, my days are Thursdays and Friday, let's unpack it. If they're busy, they can't meet with me. Oh, they're going to tell me on the link what they're doing, right? And then when I get them on the link, I'll say, wow, this is so awesome. How are you going to steward this at your holiday get-togethers? You can't hide weight loss. So you know what? The mindset, we got to work on that piece. We have to share this gift. It's a gift. It's blessing you. You got to share it.
Right. Yeah. And those coming to you, Julie, real quick. How did you learn about our program? So when they say I'm shy, I always say, okay, how did you learn about our program? Well, you know, I saw Yolanda's post on Facebook. Oh, so Yolanda's transformation publicly was how you learned about the program. And that's why you're here and you're healing and getting off blood pressure. That's my nice way of saying you're going to have to do it too. Or I could also say to them, a question that I ask is, may I ask you how long this struggle's been going on? Oh, it's been going on 32 years. It's been going on since middle school. Okay. So has it served you in the past to keep your journey private? Now, let me tell you guys this. If they're private, they're not going to be on Facebook. They're not going to do this. I don't want to do that and that. They're probably not going to make the most amazing coach. Okay. So I would not push someone too far, because they definitely are showing you that they are not ready to coach if they're not even ready to make a post on Facebook. but we are caring about their client journey, right? And making sure. So it's kind of a fine line. Julie, I see your hand up. You go ahead.
I was just going to say that, like Sherry said, that is something that grows over time as you grow as a person. So when I first came in, I didn't want to inconvenience people in their busy life with coaching because it was just one more thing on their plate, right? And this is the mindset I had. So when they put up that, oh, I don't have enough time, like I was like, okay with their busy badge. And I would say, okay, yeah, okay, whatever, and not be willing to challenge them at all in their thoughts around coaching and what it could look like for them. And it took time to grow into that. But it only happened because I recognized that up until when I started coaching, I wore busy as a badge too, and had every excuse in the book. And so when somebody came at me with that, I was very empathetic and was like, oh yeah, I don't want to stress you out with more things to do, right? And so once that switched to, you get to design the life that you want. Like that's a hard thing to say to someone. Is your 9 to 8 job serving you in your health? And that's a hard thing to ask because some people are like, I can't give that up. It's my money, and it's hard to say that, but a lot of people are dying in their job, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, because they hate it so much. And they can't see past the bills to see that there's something else out there that could serve them better in their health, because it all comes back together, right? It all affects our health. So I've just been working on that and being able to lovingly challenge people to see that they have control over those things and that they're not a victim to their crazy butt drive to work. And, don't sit there, like Rachel says, in your poopy diaper. Let's do something about it. And I have a tool for you to do that. And, just over time, building the trust to where I can say those things, it definitely takes time. One other thing I was just on a 2-week call with Jody. It's one of her friends of 20 years. And when I brought up coaching or referrals, let's schedule a time so we can unpack that for you. You're having amazing results. I definitely know I want to refer. Okay, I get it. And she said, I just don't have the bandwidth for that. And I said, I knew you were going to say that. And she's like, how? And I'm like, I just had a feeling. And I said, but listen, let's talk about it anyway, because you don't know what you don't know. And the other thing is, my mind has opened up to the fact that some people aren't going to be the coach, but these people they know could very much need a job. They could need fulfillment. They could need health. And so I said, hey, let's talk anyway, because I would love to be a connector between people and people and people. I said, I don't know who you have in your life that might need this gift of health coaching and health. And let's get on a call. And so you know what it is. And I said, and maybe somebody will pop into your mind now, a year from now, but if you don't have that information, you're never going to know what this is and what it isn't. And she was like, okay. And I was like, oh my gosh, like maybe that could be a connector down the road if we just open our mindset to the fact that that person on the phone is not the only person you are going to impact by coaching them. You could impact hundreds of other people just because you're coaching this one the way we are doing in the system. So that's it.
That was so good. Well, today felt like an incredible discussion, and we need to continue to have discussions. And I love all the input from everybody. What I want you to think about practically, tactically as we wrap up, look at the things that I listed. Okay, chasing better, stories chasing better, 2-week call. How do I posture it? 4-day call. What am I, 4-day check-in. On the HA, wait a minute, before the HA, wait a minute, how's my trilogy looking? Go to your mentor and don't try to fix it all. Don't try to fix it all. Just pick one thing, just one that you're like, you know what, trilogy on my story, trilogy on my Facebook, let's go. or passion around my story when I'm talking, let's go. And let your mentor help with 1 yardage attempt every week. And trust me when I tell you, your sponsoring engine will be revved up. Okay. And it will go generations down in your business, just like as if you're not sponsoring, that goes generations down too. So we want to really work on it, and it's part of the personal development. So we love you guys. Thank you for being so open. And I am going to run and let you guys go look at your Facebook. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.